Today is July 28th, 2021. I'm going to do a little garden tour since a lot more things have been getting ripe. We have tons more early girls, of course. This early girl, even way up at the top. I mean, look at that. Still producing tomatoes all the way up to the very, very tip top. Been really impressed with this plant. I'll definitely probably grow a few of these every year just because they produce so early and consistently. And the Black Beauty, there's tons more of these ripening. And there are Black Beauties up at the tip top too. Then we have the Mortgage Lifter here. Has some ripe ones on it. And the Mortgage Lifter was supposed to be really big, but all of the fruit are really, really small on this. So, but I've noticed as the plant goes up, the fruit are a little bit bigger. So hopefully we get a couple decent sized ones. The Brandywine, there was a big Brandywine there. We harvested that about 2-3 days ago, and it was so cat-faced and weird shaped and cracked that we couldn't eat it, but it was 15 ounces, almost a pound. And there are a few more fruits on there. Pretty good size. The Black Beauty over here still does not have any tomatoes on it, and it is so strange to me because everything else in this bed has fruit on it, is still setting fruit. It has been in the 90s, so I can understand the blossom drop, but what the heck is going on? Because seriously, look how big this plant is. Like, look at the stem on that. Nice and healthy stems. Really big, nice looking flowers. And every single one of them, like you can see right here, every single one of these flowers just fall off. It's so weird. I did make sure that there is potassium and phosphorus in the soil. I went and got 2 bags of Happy Frog granular fertilizer. It's like a 493, a 573. So I know there's nutrients in the soil, and plus everything around it is producing. So we have the ground cherry here, chocolate habanero, toothache plant, blue cream berry, Berry's crazy cherry. We have, I think I've gotten to try every type of cherry tomato that we have so far. There's been at least like one ripe one on each plant. So yeah, you can see all of those down here. This is definitely the most beautiful cherry tomato that we have. It's so cool. See a bunch of little ones there. And then I actually had a girl on Instagram messaged me and asked me if I want to do a seed swap. So I traded her some tomato seeds for some bush beans. So one here, here, one there, another one over there. I've never planted bush beans. I know they're probably way too close together, but if they are, I'll just rip one or two out. And we have the Abe Lincoln I put here. I took out the kohlrabi because it was just taking too long. And it just didn't seem worth the wait. Plus the plant was really damaged from all of the cabbage loopers or the cabbage worms. I found a stray elephant ear bulb laying in with my plant supplies and stuff, and it was trying to bloom. It was trying to open up, so I stuck him in a pot there, give him a little chance. And I have all my elephant ears in pots, so I can just easily bring them in and overwinter them and not have to dig them up out of the soil. Here's a Cherokee Purple. Still one little tomato on it. The Grapevine, which actually, maybe since it's gotten cooler, the Grapevine actually has some new growth on it. Wow, that's awesome. And then the Hungarian Yellow Wax. There was a big pepper on this one and a big pepper on this one. We harvested both of those, and now it has a ton more peppers at the top. Both plants. We have the Sugar Rush Red here. Has a good bit of peppers on it. And then another blue cream berry. Look at those. So beautiful. They're actually not my favorite in flavor. My husband loves them. I was really hoping for a sweet tomato, and these aren't sweet at all. They're not bad. I can eat them, but they definitely aren't my favorite. Here's the Berries Crazy Cherry. Tons and tons of tomatoes on this. I've gotten a couple ripe ones. And again on this plant all the way up at the top. Still producing fruit. And we have the dark opal basil, the cilantro, and check out, this is a regular habanero if I didn't say that already. This is a green bell pepper, California Wonder. Look at this Chinese 5-color. So for the longest time we only had this one yellow, well it was purple. This one pepper right here. Now we have a couple more. And look at all of these. So many peppers all over this plant. And the plant's getting quite tall too. It's probably 3.5 feet. I have another ground cherry here. Another dark opal basil. Here's the albino bullnose. I think there's deer in the woods, just scared me. Yeah, this is a bell pepper. Doesn't look like a bell pepper. But there's 3 fruits on that. If I can get 3, it'll be more than I've ever gotten before because I've never had any success growing bell peppers, so I'm pretty excited about that. There's even some more peppers on this Chinese 5-color. We have a jalapeno over there. Has some buds and flowers on it. Got this tall marigold. The sage. Still a monster. We have another Chinese 5-color here. Actually has some peppers on this too. Such a pretty plant. The flowers are really beautiful too. And then we have the Abe Lincoln. Has a little flower on it. It's gotten much taller. It has a couple much taller since last time. You see, this is the back side of that Black Beauty. And it has a ton of flowers on it. They will all just drop right off. I thought about ripping the plant up, but it's so big and established that might as well just leave it there, see if it does anything. We have the watermelon trellis, the sugar baby, and look at these guys. We have the Mexican sour gherkin on this side. I keep getting quiet because I'm looking over into the woods because I hear noises. I want to make sure no bobcat is gonna come diving out at me and eat me. Okay. So we see a little Mexican sour gherkin here, if you can see that. It's more early girls. Sunflower here. This is the cucamelon, Mexican sour gherkin, or the cucamelon, or the mouse melon. There's another cluster I never show, but there's a whole other cluster of the early girls back there. Got the Coleus, milkweed, butterfly weed, the dill, or Coleus. This is a Brandywine. Even though we got a ripe one, I threw it out in the woods on the compost pile, so we never got to try it. So I'm really looking forward to being able to try one of those. Check out this Kajari Melon. Look at that. And there are tons and tons of melons all over this plant. Right there. Two of them really close together. They're just all throughout this plant. There's one down there, two back there. See another little one. I mean, everywhere you look, there's another one. I don't think I showed that. Another one back here. I just cannot believe. There's another one. Can't believe how many Kajari melons are on that plant. We have another Mexican sour gherkin. They are so adorable. And this plant is really taking off. It took a really long time to get going. But now look at that. This thing's getting huge. We have the amaranth here, getting pretty big. We have harvested 2 Cherokee Purples off of this, and man, they were absolutely delicious. Definitely my favorite tomato we've had so far this year. Really savory, really juicy. The texture is good. I'll definitely be growing this next year. It'll definitely probably have a permanent place in my garden for sure. And the fruits, that's another thing. Also, with the flavor comes the size of the fruits. I mean, they're just big. And all of them are this size, which I weighed one of them and it was 9 ounces. So like 9 ounces is the average size of that fruit for us. And it's even pumping out tomatoes up at the top. Got another Marigold. Here's another Sugar Rush Red. Has some peppers on it. They're a little deformed, I think, from the heat, because it's been in the 90s pretty much every day. We have another habanero right here. I mean, jalapeno. I keep getting them mixed up. That is a jalapeno. Then we have the pretty and sweet, which is a sweet pepper, obviously. Has a ton of peppers on that. I can't wait till they start changing colors. We have another ground cherry here. This is a habanero, and it is a chocolate habanero. Then we have the serrano. Ton of peppers on that. We have another Sugar Rush back there. Some really big peppers on it. And a bunch of buds at the top. And wow, what a huge, I don't know if you can see that. It's a really big spider web right there. I'm trying not to walk in. You have the dark opal basil that's genetically weird, still doing good. And then the Poblano Peppers. See a big one right there, it's almost full size. This is the second large one we've gotten off of this plant. And then we have some babies up here. One here, one behind this leaf. Another decent sized pepper. We did get these plants from the hardware store. I did not grow these from seed. This is the only pepper that I didn't grow from seed. Yeah, pretty sure, yep. Another ground cherry. It looks a little strange. Like it's got this yellowing on the outside of the leaves. I'm thinking maybe I put too much fertilizer on it. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll wash it out, try to wash the fertilizer out. More amaranth. We have a German Johnson here. We've already harvested a ripe one off of this, but we haven't tried it yet. Such a pretty pink. As you can see, a big split in that. We've been getting a little bit more rain than usual over the past few days. Then we have a Brandywine pink. It has some really big tomatoes in there. Hard to see. Yeah, it's a really big tomato, and there's two of those size, looks like. Another big one right here. Then we have the green zebra. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. Green zebra there, and it has tomatoes all the way up at the top. You can see this one right here, that's a green zebra. Then we have the Berries Crazy Cherry here. All these trusses of flowers are now turning into tomatoes. And they look like they've pretty much all been well pollinated, so can't wait for that. Then we have the Super Sweet 100 here with these little currant sized tomatoes. I don't know why they're so small, but I am looking forward to trying a ripe one. I tried one the other day. I don't think it was very ripe. Wasn't very good, but I'll let it ripen a little bit more and try it. Here is a black Crim. You can see those little tomatoes right there, and then there's a whole other cluster right here, and then another cluster, and then another cluster, and then that plant also straight to the top, still making tomatoes in this heat. So we have a moonflower on the side here that I put to grow up the arch trellis. This is a regular Brandywine. Pretty nice sized tomatoes. This beautiful Coleus here that I planted from seed. All of these right there, this one, all of them came from the same seed pack. And they're all different colors. It was a rainbow Coleus. Another amaranth. I have some lavender. Lavender seedlings kind of look like basil. We have the ice plant. Marigold. Crackerjack marigold. Another moonflower. Thought that would be so pretty growing up this trellis. I put one on both sides, as you can see. And then when we come out here at night, maybe we'll have some really big, pretty moonflowers bloomed in the evening. So we have a white tomasol here. Still no ripe ones from this. I can't wait. Has more tomatoes behind this leaf, but there's a big spider web, and I'm not sticking my hand in there. We have the Isis Candy Cherry. We've had a ton of ripe ones from that. And it has tomatoes all the way up at the top. Then we have another blue cream berry with really pretty tomatoes all through here. You can see there's 2 ripe ones right here. But these don't get any sun, so they don't have the anthocyanin on it. This one looks ripe too. Such a pretty tomato. The blue cream berry. We have a little sunflower here. German Johnson actually has some fruit on it. This was the sucker stone. Some right there. Another amaranth. So cool. Alright, let's get back into focus here. Such a pretty plant. I just grew it for ornamental purposes, but if you've ever seen any videos of people trying to get the grain from that, it looks pretty time consuming, so I doubt I'll eat it. But it is pretty to look at. And we have another Isis candy cherry. Tomatoes all the way up at the top. See them all the way up there. And we have a Cherokee Purple here. These are almost ripe. I have a really, really ripe one in the house, and I can't wait to have it on a BLT. It's going to be so good. So we have the Market More 76 cucumber plant here. You can see a little baby cucumber there. And we have a big one down here. Probably have to harvest that pretty soon. And then there's a bunch of baby cucumbers throughout this plant. And then check out the Armenian yard-long cucumber. This guy is getting huge. So we have this one. We have one here. And this thing took forever to make female flowers. It took forever to set fruit. So if you have a plant, a cucumber plant that has tons and tons of male flowers and you don't think that you're going to get any female flowers, just wait. You will. This is what they look like when they're really, really small. That's the Armenian yard-long cucumber. That's technically a melon, but it's used as a cucumber. And we have a marigold here. That little wax pepper that I left in the cup. We have the white tomasol again on this side. I'll get a little view of the trellis. Show you how big those cucumbers are. So the cucumbers are almost, that's the Armenian all the way on that side, and then the Market More is a little bit behind. But look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Don't mind my little stand right there. I'll put my hand over top of it. Ruins the view. Let's get one like this. Here is the Jacoby Little Pumpkin. And look at these. There's a sunflower. Look at these beans. We've already harvested some. But look at this. Some here, here. I mean, they are just everywhere. And this is within like a week. Like a week ago, I don't think there was barely anything but like 2 beans hanging off of this plant. And they're just everywhere. My husband fried some up the other night in some butter. And he made them like really crunchy, and they were really good. Get this pumpkin hooked around my beans. Yep, they are all the way up at the top there. You can see the beans. And then you can see baby pumpkins Another one up there. Some right here. I have seen a ton of squash bugs this year, but I put DE, the diatomaceous earth, that's combined with some sort of insect powder. I put it down there on the bottoms of the stems because, and some other bad news, look at these pumpkin flowers, so big. In some other bad news, I had to rip up all of my zucchinis. Well, I only had one. I had to rip up my zucchini plant and 2 spaghetti squash plants because they had squash vine borers. And so we have one left. I performed surgery on him, cut out the stem, looked to see if I could find a vine borer. I didn't find anything. There was a split in the stem. And then, as you can see, he's got a little band-aid on his stem. I wrapped him back up, put some DE on the site where they would enter the stem, and he made a flower, and he looks green, so maybe he survived. But right here we have another mortgage lifter, yeah. And these tomatoes on this plant are much bigger. See how big that one is. And there's some more right here. We have the strawberries, still pumping out strawberries. Then the 2 sunflowers right here. The Alaskan salmon, the tip-top Alaska salmon, the variegated bugs have been just devouring it. You can see the bachelor button back here with the marigold. Now look at the difference of this marigold and these two. They were all the same size when I put them in. But this crappy potting soil that I put in this drum or rim, it's just not, it's too woody. It's way too woody. So, but I think that is my chamomile. I can see little tiny, they've just been staying way too little for way too long. I don't think this is good potting soil at all. But then we have the 2 sunflowers that I planted. We have the purple coneflower or the Echinacea. Some calendula right there. Calendula on the other side in that plot. I think I went over everything. The husband's garden. There's his white tomaso. He's still got one little tomato. I don't see any more yet at the top, but then again, it's been really, really hot. He's got a Berry's Crazy Cherry right there. Serrano with a ton of peppers on it. Another Serrano here. And he's got this Habanero. It's a regular Habanero. Then he has a chocolate Habanero right here. And then this says Sugar Rush, but it looks like a habanero to me. I guess we'll find out. Then I have some pantyhose laying there because I was putting them over top of my zucchini so the skunks would leave them alone. But you have some pumpkins right there. Nice little bee pollinating the pumpkin flowers. The bees absolutely love the pumpkin flowers. Okay, buddy. I'll get out of your way. Here's another Berry's Crazy Cherry. I've got some ripe ones off of this as well. Clusters definitely aren't as big as all the other ones. You can see those little babies. Little baby Berry's Crazy Cherry. And then we have the yellow pear. Haven't gotten any of these yet. But again, this plant producing all the way to the top. Then we have another green zebra right here. Really prominent striping on these. Really, really beautiful. I'm so excited about this. I know they say it's probably going to be sour, but it's just so beautiful. Then we have the Marigold. Another yellow pear here. This is a big rainbow. Oh, see another little big rainbow tomato at the top there. But that's the garden update. Everything's looking really good. We have a lot of fruits and vegetables in here. It's so nice to wake up every morning, come out and see what's new. There's something new almost every day. You can see how big those sunflowers are in the background. I think the tallest one's probably around 10 feet. So, but I'll do another update in about a week. And pretty soon we'll be doing some taste tests.